my mom's saying was, if there's not blood, do not come and tell me anything. So I would get a beating from my brothers, and they treated me like one of the boys, which was great. I wanted to be on the radio, kind of behind the scenes.
Oh, cool. Men can listen to women with low voices.
Oh, well.
And actually perceive information so much better than squeaky.
My doctor said, you do not have a career in radio because you cannot talk anymore. My husband actually, which is kind of a funny story, was best friends with my brother, Drew, who is a year and a half older than me.
Okay.
And we were best buds in high school. And now,
That
fast forward 10
funny.
years,
You
we're
still
married,
wake up
running
and
together
run together.
in Key West, and we're on
amazing.
vacation.
Welcome to our Best for Your Nest podcast, where we are interviewing community leaders and some famous women and women who know what they're doing and learning from them. And today we are so happy to have Laura Peterson join us, and she's going to be sharing about raising children and building careers and being married to a doctor and all kinds of things. Thank you for being with us.
I'm so happy to be here. I said I'm grateful to be here. I wore my grateful sweatshirt. So thank you for having me.
I don't know if you can see in the video, but the pants are like the perfect pink, and it's feels springy, but it's
I know.
outside.
Subtle, but so cute.
Thank you. Yeah.
Laura, so you grew up with two older brothers.
I did. Yes.
How, as an only child, just wondering, did that toughen you up? Did that do something
Very
for
much
you as
so.
an adult? Well, how would you
Yes.
describe that?
Well, I think by nature I'm more of a tomboy. I do like to get dressed up, but having two older brothers, you are thrown in the mix. So, I mean, my mom's saying was, if there's not blood, do not come and tell me anything. So I would get a beating from my brothers, and they treated me like one of the boys, which was great because, and now we're best friends.
What's your age? Yeah, like how much younger are you?
My oldest brother is 3.5 years older, and then
Okay.
I have my middle brother is a year and a half older.
Okay,
So, like, you're not, like, overly-
super,
Yeah, and now they're my best friends. They both
I love
live
that.
within less than a mile of me,
Oh,
and we
that's
see each other
amazing.
almost every single day. So there's hope for my siblings. I always say my boys, I'm like, brothers build each other up, and then I think back to my childhood. I'm like, okay, well, my brothers pounded me down, but there's hope. There's hope.
Is that why you left for college and went all the way to the West Coast?
I don't know. I think that was just, I grew up in Minnesota, but I just had a love for, once you travel, I think, I just wanted to explore the world and see other places. And I fell in love with the West Coast. So I think right away I knew I wanted to be somewhere like by mountains, water, all that stuff.
So you graduated from Mounds View, and then you went to Seattle.
Graduated from Mounds View, yes. My oldest brother, Matt, went to Boulder, and then Drew went to Bethel. So I was like, they were opposite. But I visited Matt several times, and I'm like, oh, this is it. You can be alone in a different place. So yes, I went to Seattle Pacific. It's a smaller school. It's a sister school to Bethel, actually.
Okay. Oh, cool.
So it was right in the city, but you still feel that small community.
Oh,
so it was
cool.
very,
What did you major
very
in?
cool. I majored in mass communications and media.
Okay.
So I wanted to be on the radio, kind of behind the scenes.
Oh, cool.
You have a
That
kind of a
did not-
radio voice.
Yes,
I feel
she
like
does.
it's
Like I said,
Well,
I read this article once, you guys, that said that men can listen to women with low voices
oh, well.
and actually perceive information so much better
Really?
than squeaky.
Okay.
And squeaky women don't get far in life because
my gosh,
male
that's funny.
brain cannot. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like an interesting
That is
advice for
interesting.
marriage. Lower your voice.
Yeah, right. Oh, so they listen more.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I interned for the Seattle Mariners radio station, so it was super fun. I got to go to all the games and kind
fun.
of do the events behind the scene. But after that, I talked so much, so I completely lost my voice, and I had to have vocal cord surgery because it was so bad. So my doctor said, you do not have a career in radio because you cannot talk anymore, or you will basically talk your voice out. I know, it's
And
crazy.
I can relate to that because I used to interpret, and
Oh,
I would
sure,
have like
yeah.
15-hour days.
Yes.
And I like in high school I could sing soprano and in the choir.
Yeah.
I can't do that
And now
anymore
it's too.
because of how many times I lost my voice from speaking.
That's
And now
'cause you
like
have that
my voice
raspy
is
voice
so
too.
low.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and it's just from like it's like a professional disease in a way.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Yes.
crazy.
So you like can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just.
Oh my gosh,
So-
interesting.
Did you meet your husband in Seattle?
I
Or
did not. My husband actually, which is kind of a funny story, was best friends with my brother, Drew, who is a year and a half older than me.
Okay.
And we were best buds in high school
oh,
because
so cool.
Drew and Eric were best friends, and Eric would travel with our family. I mean, I remember going to Key West with him, and we'd wake up and run together. And now,
That
fast
is
forward 10
funny.
years,
You
we're
still
married,
wake up
running
and
together,
run together.
in Key West, and
That's
we're on vacation.
amazing.
So, yeah, it's kind of funny. We didn't date during high school. We started dating in college when we kind of reconnected, and both of us saw each other. And we saw each other in a new light, I guess.
And was he going to college where you went to college?
He went to
Or-
Texas Christian University.
Okay, yep.
So he was at TCU, I was in Seattle, and it was my
Was it like cell phone eras already? I'm just kidding.
nope.
No, it
Did not
wasn't?
have
Okay.
It was I didn't get a cell phone I think until my junior year.
Okay.
So we would email.
Okay.
Oh my gosh,
So
amazing.
yeah, it's a little funny, but we reconnected when we were both on break from college,
Yeah.
and we saw each other just at a mutual friend's house, and he looked at me and goes, "Little Lobro Dean," and he just goes, "It's been forever." Like he goes, "I'm going to take you out to Panino's."
Okay.
The little.
Oh,
so
cute. I love
the next
that.
day we went to Panino's, and both of us sat across, and it was a different vibe. It wasn't like buddy buddy. It was like, okay,
That is such
yeah.
a cute story.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I
amazing.
love
So,
that.
and it worked out great because he's still best friends with my brother. So,
Was that a hard thing to like introduce? Were you
well, a
nervous?
little bit because it was pre-cell phone era.
Yeah.
And then, so during the summertime, when you'd call the landline
Yeah.
and say, he would call, and if my brother picked up, Eric was, what do I say? Like, I want to talk to
For
you, but I
sure.
really want to talk to your sister. So
Yeah.
it was a little awkward at first, but we all like laughed about it because,
Yeah.
I mean,
It
yeah.
kind of
Probably
like
ideal
morphed
of
into
being
something.
like, oh, if
It is
whoever's
ideal.
going to date my sister, if it's like my friend,
Yeah.
you know they're going to treat.
And it was
like,
easy
yeah.
transition for him to
Yeah.
go
For sure.
into our family because he knew us so well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's amazing.
That is so cool. So,
know.
what brought you back to Minnesota?
Eric,
Okay.
which I probably would have come back eventually, but I was planning on staying out in Seattle and still working for the Mariners. And then we did a year-long distance, and that's when he was applying for med school, so we didn't know where we would be. But because most of my friends that went to school out there stayed there for
Okay.
another 5 years. But yeah, my mom is very thankful for Eric back in Minnesota because she did not want me to stay because, that'd be so hard as a kid. Now that I'm a mom, I realize, oh man, like I want my babies to go away, but you kind of
kinda
secretly
want
want
them
them to stay. Yeah.
To be closer.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you supported Eric through medical school. Were you
Yes.
in the dating stage, or were you guys engaged, or like where were your relationship?
I'm trying to think back. This is so long ago now. But we actually just yesterday, Cinco de Mayo, celebrated he proposed 21 years ago. Isn't that crazy? That is so.
I love that.
So he proposed and then got into Medical College of Wisconsin in Milwaukee.
Okay.
And we knew we didn't want to live together before marriage. So we went together, like he found a place that I approved of, somewhat. And then
Somewhat.
I was like, well, it's a boys' pad, but so he went out there from September to December, and then we got married in December. So because with med school, it's so tight. You can't miss things. He had finals. So he had finals December 16th, drove through a snowstorm back to Minnesota. We had our groom's dinner that night, and he was late to our own groom's dinner.
Groom's dinner. Oh,
and then we got married and then went off to Hawaii. But yeah, it was a very short time. We didn't have a big
so you
window
guys
of
got
time.
married right before Christmas, kind of, in December. Oh, that's so special.
Yeah, December 17th. So
Did he know his specialty right away, or
he didn't
was
know.
he?
He didn't know until he thought he was going to maybe do emergency medicine, but then he got into it and he decided to do orthopedics because it was very similar to carpentry, and that's what he did all through college. Is kind of just,
I love that.
oh yeah, you're like hacking.
Yeah, I guess.
So
Is he doing hips? Or is he doing knees? Is he
does
doing
mainly-
bunion surgeries? What is he doing?
Not bunion surgeries. He does mainly hips and knees, some shoulders, some but he's busy, and it doesn't come in handy with our children because somehow they have broken more bones than I can possibly think
No
of.
way. That was going to be my next
Yeah.
question.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys take advantage of his expertise or do you not?
Yes. I mean, I think our oldest has had 2 surgeries already because of broken bones. And let's see, we've had, I think, like collab together between the 4 kids, we've had at least 12 broken bones. Is that insane?
This is insane because your kids are how old?
15, 13, 11, and 8.
Okay.
So
everybody is an athlete?
Yeah, they all play sports, but it was not broken from, this is broken from monkey
Well, Dad'll
bars.
fix it.
My daughter fell off the couch and broke her femur when she was 1.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Oh my God. Okay.
yeah. So it
Has
was
he
just,
ever done like a surgery on them?
he did this, which,
Or like a setting? I don't know.
no, he did. Well, oh yeah, he's like done casts and all that
Yes.
stuff on the kids all the time. But the surgery, this was the monkey bar one with my oldest son. I think at the time he was, gosh, maybe 6, and he fell like off the monkey bars, like his shoulder, you could just tell, or his elbow was like yanked, So I right away called Eric and I said, what do we do? He said, well, obviously come in to TCO, Twin Cities Orthopedic, what he works for. But he happened to be the surgeon on call that day. So he
had to all come in.
And the nurses kept saying, I don't think it's a good idea, Dr. Peterson, to operate on your own child. But he said, well, I don't have another choice. Because it was one of those surgeries that had to be done that night.
There.
Yeah.
So then we went there and Eric went in and operated on Jordan and came out. And I was so worried about what would happen.
Yeah.
And he came out and then he got in the room and just started like, he never cries.
Yeah.
The only time I've seen him cry is at our wedding.
Because that's so much tension.
Because
Can
it
you
was so,
imagine?
yes.
Oh,
So
I can't even
proximity.
imagine.
Oh,
No.
I mean, I was happy. It
Yeah,
went
you're like,
okay,
he's in good
great.
hands,
He's
but
in
like,
good
it's
hands,
like-
but oh yeah,
Talk about pressure. That's crazy.
yeah. And now it's actually illegal to do that. There was a law
really?
after, I think a year after
funny.
that, they said you're not allowed to operate on immediate family members,
yeah.
which
I've
totally
heard that
makes
about like
sense.
delivering children,
Yeah.
but I did
Oh,
not
yeah.
really know. Because you can get too emotional, so you can't make a rational
totally.
decision.
Yeah.
I could see
I feel
that.
like I've read something
Yeah.
that's.
Yeah.
So you
that
had
was
3
in place.
boys, and then you kind of made a decision to not have children anymore, and then you still had another baby.
We're done. I call her my angel baby, but yes. So had 3 boys, which I always wanted a girl because, but I just was
Brothers,
like, I am a boy mom. I was fully embraced it, totally fine with it. The day my Tyler was born, and I still call him, he's still like the youngest child because that's how he acts. But the day he was born, I legit got rid of everything. I mean, the day like
He aged out.
when he
Yeah,
aged
yeah.
out of stuff,
yeah.
I was just like, oh, crib, gone. We had not one thing left. And then, I mean, I was pregnant 3 times and they were all, I got such bad morning sickness. So you know the feeling when it's coming back again. And my husband had a vasectomy. He did wait the 3 months, went back in and got checked. We got, back then it was a letter because they didn't email you even. We got a letter in the mail that said, you were all clear, it worked. So we thought we were clear. And then one morning I woke up and I looked over, and this is before Eric was going to work, and I said, I do not feel well and I think I might be pregnant. And he looked at me like I was just like, this is never going to happen. And I just said, Eric, this is not my first rodeo being pregnant. I know how I feel. And he said, don't you dare go to Walgreens and spend $20 on a pregnancy test because it is impossible. So
He just trusted another doctor, just like he would expect people to trust himself.
He went to work. I loaded up all 3 boys, went to Walgreens, came back, took the pregnancy test, and it was positive, which is crazy. So he went back to the vasectomy doctor and said, could this be wrong? And he got retested, and sure enough, it just
Didn't work.
Well, yeah, he goes, this literally never happens.
I have 3 friends who had a 4th baby like that.
I feel like I've heard of
name.
so many people that they're like,
Wow. I mean, I am grateful that it happened.
Oh, for
of course,
sure.
because it's Maddie, she's my little shadow. But I am grateful it happened at least So Tyler was 2.5 when Maddie was born.
Okay, so it wasn't like a massive gap of like 7 years.
Yes,
and then
I
you
could
wake
not
up.
imagine if it was 10 years. So we were, and then they said she was a girl, and I just started.
Did you find out that you were having a girl, or did you find out genders along the way, or
we
until
found
they were
out
born?
right at 12 weeks. They said it's a girl, and I did not believe it. And then she looks identical to my husband, blonde hair, blue eyes, fair skinned. So I got my girl, but none of my kids look like me. They're all little blondies, fair skinned.
Isn't that a recessive gene?
Yes.
Right? And like
He
somehow
must have
he's
some
like
strong-
dominating.
Yeah. I know.
It's just the Scandinavian state,
Yeah,
maybe.
I think that like the blonde hair is like my husband has dark hair, and we were like either we're gonna get a redhead or blonde.
That's
Two
so
blonde.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
Interesting.
That is.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a wild. It's like God had a different plan.
Do they say anything
Oh my
like when they're
goodness.
like, "Oh, sorry that happened"?
Do they give you money
Yeah,
back?
like,
Does
well,
that
That's
what
it. I know. I
happens?
joked.
Yeah.
I said, "Did
Like
you
a
ask them
refund?
for a college?" So he had to
refund
go
or
back
something?
in and get another one because.
So is that
Yeah.
the free ride then?
Yeah.
Like if the,
Yeah, he actually didn't, because I said, "Do you think they'll charge you for that?" And he said, "No, they did not charge me for that." But I mean,
Okay. Yeah, and it's all like insurance and all that.
Yes.
So that's
that is
yeah,
so
I know.
funny.
So it was crazy, but now I cannot imagine our family without her. It
Oh,
is
for
just.
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
it all works out.
She is the glue too that just brings all of the boys together, and we all love her. So,
And you're
yeah.
like the house where everybody gathers. Sounds like.
yes, we are.
That's what
How
we
did you
hear in the community.
cultivate that? Because I feel like that's like ideal as a mom, like having everyone at your house. How did you?
It is. Well, growing up, that's what my mom
Did.
just, she always had cookies and brownies and pizzas. And so, and people just gravitate towards that.
Yeah.
It's,
For sure.
it's food, you guys.
Yeah.
Just have food
okay.
and the kids will come, you know. But yeah,
But do you think sometimes it's location or like proximity to things or like what kind of determines that?
I mean, I think of both. We live right by the middle school right now. So
Yeah.
after school, kids will all run over to the middle school. However, we have tons of houses that are close by. And I always ask my kids, because I love that they come over, but
Yeah.
I say, because sometimes in middle school or high school, I was
Yeah.
a little more rebellious, and you didn't want to be at the house where the parents were at.
Yeah.
And most of my friends work, so they're gone all day, and I just am always like, which I love. I love that the kids come, but sometimes I go, isn't it weird that they always come here and I'm always home? But
Yeah.
And they are okay with that. Yeah.
yeah, the boys love it, and then I get the scoop on the girls
Yeah,
and
yeah.
get the So yeah, I think our house is a total disaster. Eric will come home sometimes and it gets a little overwhelmed. I feel like I'm a big kid, so I love.
You can
having,
tolerate. But you
love
also
having
the
kids
baby.
around. Maybe that's it.
I
Yeah.
feel like you maybe
Yeah.
can tolerate more because
You're
you're
like,
the
okay
youngest.
with a
Yeah.
little bit of the chaos.
Oh yeah. I
Maybe.
think
yeah,
I
you
thrive in chaos.
that. Well, and I think
Yeah.
sometimes like parents are more okay being like, oh, sure, you can go because they know you're going to be home.
That's
You know,
true.
like I think if I was a
Yeah.
parent and I'm like, okay, I could either send my kid to the house that no one's going to be there.
Yes.
Or the
Yeah.
house where I know like,
That everybody is
yes,
welcome and okay and like
Yeah.
warm.
Totally. And I just have always wanted to be a safe spot for kids.
yeah, exactly.
So it is
sounds
just
like
that
you are.
slowly building a relationship with the children as well too.
Yeah,
So,
and being a fun
yeah.
mom, like that kids feel like comfortable.
Yeah, and like I'm a big kid. Like I'm out there jumping on the tramp with them, and sometimes my boys are annoyed, going, "Mom, just stop." I'm like, "Well, I can have fun too, you know."
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
as you should.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to somebody who is still in the toddler mom stage?
Oh my goodness.
Like
And for boys, too.
what were like the maybe tougher years or what years required more of you?
Okay,
like
I was
earlier-
not the house in the toddler. Well, you know, toddlers, it's all the play dates. I don't like hosting play dates because I like hosting children, and play dates include like parents often.
Yeah.
So I was not the house in the play date phase. I was the one that would go to the person's house, you know, because I just feel like it's more pressure with.
Yeah.
When women are there?
Yes. That makes total
Yeah.
sense.
So
That's a good one.
Yeah, oh gosh, you guys, it's a ride. It is.
And do you feel
toddler
like the
phase,
like boy girl, is it true?
And
'Cause
Bea
Anya's
just
having
tapped
her
into
first boy.
like the first
Yeah.
boy too. Her
Yeah, I
her
have
boy
a-
is 8 months.
Yeah. So I'm
And
like,
I am about to have a boy,
Yeah.
which we only have girls.
yeah.
Oh,
so we're
yes.
like,
It's a different energy.
And I know
advice.
it is. I mean, it is different all people are different, but ours was, I had 3 boys and then my daughter, Maddie. I had never seen the boys sit in the toddler for more than 15 seconds until they're chucking cars at each other or doing whatever. And Maddie will just sit and color for hours. It's wild. It is so wild, the difference between it. So, but with the toddler phase, you just have to be okay with like your house and things not okay. You know, I think I always wanted to keep a clean house. And then after kids, it was like, shoo, totally out the window.
And like, who cares?
I just, yes, who cares? And everything's going to be messy and the stains in the carpet and it's a phase. And then someday we'll miss this. I mean, I take pictures because I'll get frustrated. And I just took a picture of my son's room and I sent it to my mom because you couldn't even see the floor. And I said, don't you miss these days? And she's like, no. I was like, you're supposed to tell me you do. Like, but it just is, you know.
And enjoying the moment. I feel like I'm thinking about that now where it's like, okay, like I'm struggling with that dynamic of like, oh, maybe I have an opportunity to spend a little bit more time with my kids, but I'm like, oh, like these times they're going so fast. But then also I'm like, oh, how do I like be home and be patient and do all that stuff? Because like to me, work is a little bit of my escape. So I feel like that's my hard thing that I'm wrestling with right now.
Especially when you are at home, I think the mom brain is, sometimes I just wish I could be a male for a day and sit and not worry about anything. But the mom brain is, if you are being present, then there's laundry to do and there's this to do, or what do we have for dinner, or what.
I'm not being done.
So it is hard to be present. A lot of times, I mean, when I was younger, we went to so many parks because I felt if you get outside of the house, then I was way more able to be present or play with them or, you know.
But it's hard to get out, but once you're out.
Yeah, I did force myself to get out. Even in the wintertime, we'd go to the mall and just walk around the mall in the stroller just so I could run around. It's just sounds so silly, but that would be like the big thing to do that day. We went to the mall, and I felt great.
And you're like,
that's what we accomplished
and then you
today.
get the house that's crazy, but like that's sometimes I'm
totally
like, okay, well at least if I'm not here, I'm like getting like I'm not messing up the house
else.
And also having to entertain them at least. Like I'm entertaining them, and then the house stays still.
So. Can mess up the food court in the mall.
That's fine.
So you are known for making other people feel very special, and I can attest to that because I remember that's gonna make me sad. When the war in Ukraine started. I woke up to your money and I didn't even know who you, like I knew of you, but I didn't know who you were. So I was like texting Katie, our mutual friend, saying like, what, like, how does she? And then I opened your Instagram and I read about your health story too. And I'm like, why the hell would she care about this country? Like 15 hours away if she's going through something so like pressing and so I just, is this something like your parents raised you that way to be like
sweet to
other oriented or like
I think whenever, and my mom was such a good, and my dad, they're both the most generous people I know, but they always, especially when you're going through a hard time, they always said, what can you do for others? Because often when you help others, it's a win-win. Like they feel gifted, and then you feel better about yourself too. Because I think it's a lot of, if you're going through a hard time, which with my breast cancer, it's worse to just sit there and say, "Woe is me." I would love to help other people. Plus, that was such a difficult time for your country, and I mean, it was just so. Yeah, of course, I would very happy to help. Yeah.
Thank you for that. That meant mental. I was like. News.
And then you wrote me a note, all this stuff. I was thinking, why is she writing me a note for just being, it's...
No, because we were trying to plan a trip because Noah has never been to Ukraine, and we just got married and my parents couldn't come to the wedding. And so we were like, we're going to go in March. And this was like February 23 or 4.
Oh my goodness.
And we found out we were pregnant later that day. So
no way.
You sent me the money. We called my parents and then they were like, it's actually... the war, they are bombing the capital.
So scary.
And we were like, and we are pregnant. So now not only we are not going to Ukraine, now like our life is like really different. Just that day, it's like so vivid in my memory.
And emotional.
Yeah. So then it's just,
Oh my goodness.
But tell us about, I know it was a COVID year. where things kind
Oh.
of started?
Yes. So for
Being unsettling and
breast cancer, yeah. So, well, and this is so funny because I don't know why my nickname for Maddie was Angel Baby, but it was she had just turned 3 the day before, because I think it was October 16th. Her birthday is October 15th, and she is my shadow. I was in the shower. She's just standing there, just like a mini little 3-year-old, just waiting for me to come out. And I'm like, give me a break,
Yeah.
And I stood out and dried myself off, and then I picked her up, and she kind of like her elbow, like just the way it like wiggled, or she like fell down. Her elbow like hit a side of my chest, and that's the only reason I know. And it hurt, and I was like, what is going on? And so then I felt it, and felt like a marble, like a hard marble, which, I just got done
breastfeeding.
breastfeeding
Like
4
a year,
babies,
yeah.
and I thought this is totally normal, but it felt different. So I wasn't alarmed that much, but I came home, or my husband came home, and I said, oh, feel this. Do you think this is anything? And he's the most chill person on the planet, and not an alarmist at all. And he just said, he said, I don't think it's anything, but I do think you need to make an appointment. And I go, are you crazy? It's COVID. I mean, he was still working, but
for sure.
nobody was wanting to go to the doctor.
No.
Nobody was wanting to do anything.
Exposed
And
and-
he just said, yes, make an appointment. Like, this is something that there's no harm to it, you know? So I didn't want to make the appointment because it was still COVID. We weren't seeing anyone. I call my mom. I casually throw in, Maddie hit me, and I feel like there's a lump in on the side of my chest. And she said, well, did you make an appointment? I said, no, I have nobody to watch the kids. Meanwhile, all the schools are out.
For sure, yeah.
So I have 4 kids at home trying to do the homeschool thing, which did not work. I had little desk setups for each one of them, didn't work at all. And I said, nobody's going to watch the kids. I can't bring 4 kids into it.
Yeah.
And she said, because I hadn't seen my parents, they would drive by in the car, and we'd have car conversations. It's just so crazy.
Such a crazy time to like look
back
back
at.
on that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And she said, make the appointment. I'm coming over. And I go, Mom, this is no. I don't want you to get sick. What happens if,
Oh, for sure.
So I made the appointment. She came over, and I could just tell she's so nervous. But so I made the appointment to get a mammogram, and I was by myself because you can't have anyone with you, and it's the mask, which is still so bizarre to me, but that was just so normal in 2020. And I had the mammogram, and I thought, okay, great. I actually remember taking a picture with my the shirt that they give you to put over, and I remember taking a picture for some reason in the dressing room, and I remember pausing and being like, oh, this is like, I thought it wasn't anything, but I was just like, this could either change my life or it could be nothing, which is just such a crazy thing of when you're getting an exam.
Thought. Yeah.
And I got the mammogram, and they came back and just said, oh, we have to look a little bit deeper to do an ultrasound. You have time to stay maybe for another hour. And I said, sure. So I was just texting my mom, is it okay if I stay another hour? So then they go and do the ultrasound, and the ultrasound tech was just so lovely. And she had 4 kids as well. And we were just chatting, and the whole time in the conversation was very light. And then I could just tell on her face when it changed a little bit, and she kind of continued, and then she said, okay, do you think you have time to stay for another hour? And I said, sure, why? So you just kind of know something's going on. And then she called in the radiologist, and she said, I think she needs a biopsy today. So the more urgent it came on, it all happened in one day. So the radiologist came in and was doing the biopsy, and she was like very quick. And I knew she wouldn't be able to tell me that day if I had cancer, because it's a biopsy and it takes a few days. But I just looked at her and said, my mom's at home with my kids, and she's so worried right now. And I just I need to know. Just, can you tell me what? And then the ultrasound tech grabbed my hand. So it's like, I just knew at that point. But sorry, it's like all coming back. But she looked at me and said, I don't want to lie to you, but all things are pointing to cancer. So I just wept, and like they both just held me, because when your husband's not there, when your mom's not there, it's just, and they were so wonderful. But yeah, I had to drive. I don't even remember the drive home, and I came in the door, and I didn't want to alarm the kids, but I came in the door, and my mom could tell I had been crying, and then she just started crying, and we just like held each other. And mind you, we hadn't hugged in 6 months because we hadn't even touched, and I was like, Mom, don't touch me, and she's like, I don't care, just like, so that day changed everything. And I think that the kids were really scared. Right away, Eric came home shortly after. We sat in the room. We were both on the floor, just holding each other, crying. And we got a good cry out. Both of us are not huge criers, and now I am. After cancer, I don't know if it's the drugs or what. I'm like nonstop crier. And then I just knew that I was like, hey, let's go. Like, we're ready to fight. Like, thank you so much. So that was day one. And then we got the final results, which we already knew. And Eric logged in and looked at it as well. And he's like, he knew. So it was just a lot of appointments after that, and a lot of leaning on family and friends. And the hardest thing for me was I know I don't look strong, so I'm crying, but I feel like I'm strong. And I can
You sound strong.
put anything on me, I can handle it. But I was just worried about the kids.
Yeah.
I didn't want these little kids, the kids at the time were 3, 5, 7, and 9, to have to deal with mom being sick or mom having cancer and not being able to hold them and having all these surgeries. So my whole focus and what was getting me most through it was these little kids. How can I be present for the little kids, and how can I wanted them to look back on this not thinking, I hate cancer, mom was so like crabby and sick or sleeping or tired, of just to look back and be like, wow, all these, and it was family and friends just poured in on everything. It was all these amazing, wonderful things that the kids still look back and talk about it, and they talk about, do you remember that big party we had where everyone's wearing pink boas and it's
cute. Okay.
So it's not, and we were very upfront too. We decided to be open with them about mom has cancer, because from our experience, and every child is different, but from our experience, we thought it would be better to tell them, because sometimes the unknown, the kid's mind races a little bit more. So we were honest with them about when I had my chemo days and when I had my surgeries and when I needed more time and things like that. So
so were there like overnights in the hospital, or was it just like an appointment, you show up, you leave? Or
so there was several appointments. I had a team of 3 different doctors, and which was all totally new to me, because I didn't know anything about how it worked. But and breast cancer, now I've learned specifically, there's so many different types of cancer. I had a cancer called triple positive cancer, and which is a more aggressive kind. So I'm so thankful for my little angel baby that caught it, because it spreads really fast.
But does it respond to treatment?
But it
equally
responds
fast?
to treatment well. So initially, it just sounds so daunting when I look back on the treatment, because I had to have, all in all, I had 20 rounds of chemotherapy and 4 surgeries. So my doctor said, it's going to be a course of 2 years of treatment. And it sounded like it was never going to end. But it was literally my family and friends and faith that got me through those treatments. But mine were 8-hour days, and there's a whole slew of appointments.
And is it like an IV that you are receiving, or is it pills, or like what does that look
It's
like?
an IV. So they give me a port. So one of the surgeries, the small ones, is just a port. So they start out with pre-meds. Well, 3 days before you get chemotherapy, I had to take all these steroids and meds that would make me feel crazy, but also oddly very strong, like that's when I would do power walking and get it, because I knew I had all my energy, and then I was gonna, and then I knew it was gonna all come down. Yeah, it's crazy. So then they gave me two pre-meds, and they just have a bag here. They're changing it the whole time. And then I had 4 different medications because of the type of cancer I had. So they basically just keep on changing the bags out. But mine, I would get there at 7:30 and leave at 4 on my
So it's like a
chemo
work
days.
day. That's
This is a full day. So I'd bring, and I couldn't have any visitors there. So I would bring I call it my little chemo table, but they just have a little table by the chair, and I would bring little like mainly gifts that people had given me, or artwork from the kids, or Bible verses, just to keep me going through.
Was it like no visitors because of COVID, or is that like always how it is?
Because no, now you can have a slew of visitors, which is amazing, because it is. So it was COVID, they had all these different zones, but when I was going through my hard long chemo days, it was so the red zone, so it was
susceptible to anything. I'm sure they have to keep everything. So
it was still, because I started my first. So I got diagnosed
in the fall of 2020?
Yes, it was like my mammogram on October 30th, and then my first round of chemotherapy was that week of Thanksgiving. So I think
very quick.
Okay, because they were like, let's get this
acting.
Let's get this going.
Was your husband like looking at the treatment plan, or was it just like, did you guys just trust these people?
No, we had looked at certain doctors, and he thankfully he can read all of that stuff, and I just,
because it's just it just seems like
so complicated. Yes, it's so complicated. But yes, he was very into, is this the right thing to do? Because sometimes you do surgery first, sometimes you do chemotherapy first. There's just all different routes to go. So.
And you were able to keep your pretty hair, right?
I did cold capping. Have you guys heard of cold capping?
No.
I've heard of it from just other people who have like opted for that route.
What does that mean?
So it is a cold cap that you put on your hair, and it is negative 20 degrees, and you have to change the cap out every 25 to 35 minutes depending. But so I had a cold capper there because she was considered a medical assistant provider. So she was able to be in the room, which she also was just glorious to have. We became besties during the treatment because she's the only person that could really
that was available to you.
What a job too. I'm sure you see so many things.
Oh my gosh.
As that like your only person.
She would tell me more about cancer than the nurses would, because the nurses they're great, but they're in and out, and they're they're
and
busy.
They have a task.
Yeah. And she had been doing this for several years, so she was.
So they are basically protecting your hair while you are receiving the treatment.
Yeah. So unfortunately, the chemotherapy, and I hope that and I'm sure they will with research in the future years, be able to just target just the cancer, but the chemotherapy just depletes everything from your entire body. So the cold cap was, since it's negative, it essentially freezes your hair. Scalp, so then the hair follicles can still grow. So they would have to switch it out. They would keep it on dry ice. I mean, it was freezing, and then they'd switch it out every 25 to 30 minutes, and it's this huge like tightening of the everything. It's an art. It was wild. So that was another whole thing on top of it. But I was so thankful I was able to keep my hair, because
I feel like, because that's another layer of something to deal with.
Yes, because I felt horrible that first week of chemotherapy, but then I felt decent. So it wasn't, but I didn't have to look at myself in the mirror and be reminded that
something just
I'm
happened.
sick. And for the kids to keep a little sense of normalcy.
For the kids, it's like probably just scary.
Yeah, to think about. And I did, it was interesting because it was on my second round of chemotherapy that I started to lose everything. So all of the other hair, I mean, I remember just watching my one last eyelash, being like, go. But all the things you don't even think about, your nose hair. My nose constantly bled because it was so dry, and there's no hair to absorb it. It's just all these wild things. It was nice not to have to shave my legs. So I guess there's bonuses out of that. But so it was, the cold capping was a gift that I had never even heard of before. And someone reached out and just said, hey, you should look into it. And we just had to do chemo so quickly. But it was the week of Thanksgiving. That was my first one. And I didn't know how I was going to respond to chemo, because my doctor said, hey, you're young, which I don't feel young, but you might. I was 38.
Okay.
When this whole
So
thing
That
started.
is young, yeah.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
for sure.
for cancer, I
Yeah.
guess. But yeah, he said normally the steroids or medication that doesn't make you super sick, like after you get your chemo day, and then he said after 2 days, those steroids will make you feel okay, and then usually the
You crash.
the cancer hits. So it was the week of Thanksgiving, and I remember my parents asking, do you want to do a Thanksgiving? And I said, yes, absolutely. We're keeping. It was just our
We're, like,
family because
trying
we've
to
been
do
seeing.
this
But
life
yeah,
still.
I said
Yeah.
I don't want to have my kids miss Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was oddly feeling good. I
Yeah.
got my first round of chemo the next day, and I just kept waiting for the ball
Yeah.
to drop, and I felt good, which I thought, okay, this is it. This is great. And we went to my parents' house for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was the next day. We went to my parents' house, and I love Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, it's just, but we got about halfway through the meal, and everything was great, and then all of a sudden it hit, and it was like a wave that came over me. It was, and I'm like, excuse me, and I felt so bad because my mom had just made this whole beautiful meal, and I went downstairs and I like collapsed on the bathroom floor, and I was just like, no, like I just knew it hit me. And then my kids were like, what's going on? Where's mom? And then they came down there, and then they started crying. So everyone's crying in the bathroom floor, and I was just like, this is not how it's supposed to go. But yeah, and then I just said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And then I went home, and it was bad. Some people go through chemo and they do okay. I don't know. My chemo was really tough. I got mouth sores, so it's hard to eat. And I just got so nauseous. I couldn't even even a little bit of light would make me throw up.
That is insane.
It was just crazy. So I spent, usually after chemo, was like 4 to 5 days just in my bed. I would try to stand up, but then I would just feel like I was going to pass out. So we decided after that, between my parents and my in-laws and Eric, they would take the kids for the week of my chemo weeks. So I'd get back from chemo, I'd have a day with the kids, and then they would take them to the cabin, or my parents have a place in Florida or somewhere. So they didn't have to see me sick, which was such a gift, because that's the other thing. I'm dealing with me being so sick, but then just worried about the kids.
It just breaks
And if you
your
hear
heart.
them, it's like
Oh yes.
harder.
Oh yeah. So it was.
So throughout the treatment, do you meet with the doctor and they kind of assess how you're doing? And are they making projections? I don't have a lot of doctor experience, but like just being pregnant, they every time they second guess something, they feel like they need to tell you. They didn't see this baby's feet well on the first ultrasound, and they are like,
and then you worry.
We can't rule out the club feet. So do you want to come back?
Yes.
Because this might not be covered by insurance, or do you not want to come back?
And then they put that little thing in you, and you just
you just like leave there, and all you've heard, it was like everything was great until then, and all you remember is this one thing. So I'm thinking this is, and then we went back and they saw the feet and they were this way, and that was enough for them to say, oh yeah, we were like, this is nothing. So like, did you kind of experience things like that where they were over communicating unnecessary things?
I actually was appreciative of my team because they would meet for rounds every week and all go together. But my treatment plan certainly did change based on what happened and what my surgeries were. And then in the middle of that as well, they had found I was having such horrible stomach pain, and they said, well, they did another scan and found a mass in my ovaries. So then they said, well, it's big enough that we need to remove it anyways, but this could have spread. So it's the fear and the worry is just, and that's what I would wake up at night and just be like, just recite Bible verses and try not to, and I would try to remember who I am, not this cancer disease I have, because that's, worry is just wishing for something that you don't want. It's totally. So that was difficult because I was thinking, well, if it's traveled already to the ovary. So I did have in the middle of all of I ended up having 4 surgeries, but in the middle of that, I had another surgery to remove my tumor, and that ended up being benign, which was great. But yeah, it is a little tricky because even after I had a double mastectomy, and they didn't quite get all of the cancer out. So they said, well, now we're going to shift and do more chemo and do more, it all changes. And that's the crazy thing about cancer.
And then there's like, they just like wish they knew everything.
Yeah,
but
and I always thought,
don't.
okay, there's going to be a protocol, and this is exactly what you do. But there's so many different variables of your age and how big the tumor is and what they got out and what kind of. So it was kind of crazy, but I just had to say, God's in charge,
Yeah.
and ultimately I trust that like the doctors are going to do the right thing. But
Sure.
the worry and the fear is what can be so crippling.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's a really.
And did you get to have like that moment of like, this is done, and like like when how long was that until you kind of got that like, I'm sure it never feels like you're fully.
Oh, you mean like what, like my last chemo or something like that?
When they're like, you're in the clear.
Yeah, so they say, so I still actually go in once a month to the cancer clinic, and I still take meds every night.
Yeah.
But
So do they check you? Is it just like blood pressure, or like
No.
is there some
It's,
like
again, it's weird because a lot of people will still go in and have scans, and with mine, they say, well, it's not caught on scans, it's how you feel.
Oh.
So
I think I feel okay.
yeah, so if you're more tired, or if you feel like they would say it would come back in the lymph nodes. So feeling your lymph nodes and but there's no scans that I take, which is I think good and bad, because some people get the scan anxiety, but
Yeah.
but then you see what's going on, right? Like if you're getting a scan, which is like fatigue is like
and
such
then I
a
have
wide...
gone in also afterwards because I have felt something, and then it's worrisome, but it just turned out to be, a swollen lymph node, and it's nothing, but you just get
How
that.
do you not just like second guess everything?
Yes, exactly. And I don't want to be that one person to go in all the time and say, but I'm still constantly meeting with my with my oncologist, and like I said, I still have to go in all the time. So there was never you're cancer free.
Yeah.
It was my last day of chemo. I guess they said kind of in remission. Like they think all of it is hopefully gone, but there's not really any more scans. Since I had a double mastectomy, I don't have any, there's like nothing to scan there. Yeah. Yeah. But
Do you feel like you've been like a resource for people since this happened to you? Do you think people like reach out now with questions?
Yes. And it's interesting too, because when I got diagnosed, I was debating whether to share my journey or not on Facebook or Instagram, because I was thinking, I don't know, who am I but just opening that door, so many people had reached out to me, and they were such a resource to me because I was open about that. So now I'm so sad to see how many people are affected by cancer. It is, and so many young people more, and it is just, and then now it's like one of my best friends has cancer. It's just like, it's so tough, but I'm happy to be like, you're going to get through this. Like it's going to suck. They're going to be really hard days, but this is what you do. This is what to be that person. Cause I did have people be that person for me, which was so, so helpful.
And I think if you like, don't talk about it, it's like hard for people to know where you're at. And so if you're open, you can get and give. And I feel like totally part of the journey.
And even, which is so funny, because I feel like the internet and Facebook and Instagram, it's all, it's so interesting, but by me sharing my story, people who were still my age reached out to me saying, oh my gosh, I had this a year ago and I was in the dark going through it all alone. And I cannot imagine that. My whole, like on Instagram, my whole thing was together we fight, because it takes a village to go through something like this. And I cannot imagine doing it alone, or trying to keep it away or not tell people, or it just, it was hard for me to take all of that help. But a dear friend said, there's time to give and time to receive.
For sure.
you know, it's
And
like,
it's like so easy, so much easier to tell a story when you know the
Yeah.
final ending.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
because I feel like I've been through a season of like, oh, everybody I know my age is married with like 3 children, and I'm not even close to meeting someone.
yeah, yeah.
Or like I've had this crazy immigration journey that I like
Yeah.
never wanted to live here, and then it's just like things kept happening, and I was here, but it was like you're on this visa and you can only work this job, and you like you're very limited. So it's really hard when you are like in this tight spot to be sharing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you don't know your outcome.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Once you know the outcome,
Yes.
it's like,
Easy to
okay,
tell that
tough
story.
pregnancy, but the baby was
this is-
born.
yes.
And this is it. So it's like being brave
Yeah.
to share through, because you are inviting people in and they see you.
Totally.
And they can relate, because nobody can relate to perfect and picture.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's
My
just
favorite
such a-
quote is Jillian Michaels. She's a workout instructor, but I used to love doing her videos, and she was like, perfect sucks. Perfect's boring. So I say that to my kids all the time.
I love
Nobody
that.
wants to be perfect.
No.
Yeah,
So,
no, totally.
Yeah.
Because nobody
And people
is.
don't
'Cause
relate
nobody
to that
is.
either. Like, I feel like it's like no one looks at that person, or someone was saying like, don't apologize for your house not being how it's supposed to, because then like
Yeah.
other people are like, well, if you're saying sorry for that, like
Yeah,
what
you
do
can
what
never
would you
come
do
to
about
my house.
So I think
Yes.
that's a really
That's
like,
true.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you are training for a half marathon.
Oh, yes, I am.
And have you
slowly.
you said you guys grew up kind of running on the beach, like have you kind of like decided like, hey, I want to do this now, or how did you get into running?
So, well, I've been running since middle school. So
Yeah.
some of my cross country friends are still my
So
very,
cool.
Amazing.
very best friends. Yeah. So I've done half marathons and
Okay.
triathlons and things like that. But the whole cancer
Yeah.
thing got in the way, and now I have osteoporosis because my bones, because of the meds that I still have to take. So I feel sometimes it's interesting during cancer, those 2 years, you're literally fighting for your life.
Yes.
And then afterwards, you feel like such a different person.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
for
that's
sure.
what I talk about with my therapist, the old Laura and the new Laura. And it's okay to be the new Laura, because I was like,
Yeah.
I miss the old Laura. But because the old Laura was working out every day and I felt strong and now I just felt kind of a shell of who I was. So I was like, I got to get back into doing something for myself. So my neighbors who are like, we have a kind of group of like good couple friends, girlfriends and guy friends. And they, right when we moved to the neighborhood, I was like, who wants to do this triathlon with me? And everybody said no, besides these two, my best friends' husbands. They're like, we'll do it with you. So we started training, and then we did several triathlons, and then we stopped because I got cancer. And then, so it had been, 5 or 6 years since we had done anything. And New Year's, I texted them and I just said, you guys, I'm in a rut. I don't feel like myself. Like I haven't been running. I'm like, can we please plan something, but that won't be super hard on my knees, so we're doing a trail run. And immediately they were like, we got you. Like the next day, they sent out a training plan, and I was
so
like, wait,
cool.
do I really want to do this? But I mean, but I was
But
committed.
it's easier because Bea and her husband just ran a marathon
you?
in
Where?
Napa Valley.
Yeah.
Fun.
It was awesome. I mean, I'm a one and done marathon person. I've done halves, and I'm like, I never need to do a marathon again.
It's so hard on your body.
So good to. We were like, we have to do it. I like did it when I don't even know if I was pregnant at the time when I signed up, but I was like 5 months postpartum or 6 months postpartum, and I wasn't like really thinking that through. And then I was like, okay, but then I'm like, if I don't do this and just like have it on the calendar and like have this trip booked, I'm gonna back out. And so
For sure. So
then
you,
I
like,
just
forced yourself
we just
to-
did it, and like my husband's not a runner, so we're just gonna do this. He turned
That's
40
so
that week,
cool.
so he was like, I'm doing it.
Fun.
But it's like, it's the support, and like people like, texting you and be like, how's the marathon stuff going? And I'm like, oh, I should probably like
actually,
get onto that. So
Yeah.
I think that's just cool. And like, I think feeling like yourself again, I'm sure it's.
Yes, and it is, and it's funny too, because before I think I probably would have felt a little stupid because we'll go on runs together at like 7 a.m, and Chris is the guy who's heading it up, and he's like, all right, meet outside of your house. We're doing hills with it, and these guys are incredible athletes, and here's me who hasn't worked out now in forever, and I'm so far behind them, and they're like, come on, you got this. So before I think I would have felt self-conscious, and now it's
You
a
just
badass that you
embrace
can
it.
even do
Yeah.
this.
just like,
Yeah, like
who
you're like,
cares?
yeah, I'm
like,
doing this.
Yes, that's more my attitude of now. Like, yes, I'm doing it.
When is the run?
So it is sometime in October, I think. So or maybe September.
Get a summer to kind of like.
We're far,
I'm
we're
excited
far out.
for
But
you.
I
That's awesome.
said I need to ease my way into
Yeah,
it because
for sure.
I just haven't been running anymore. But I need to like do more things for me. I think because I just
Totally.
felt like I lost a little bit of myself during that journey.
yeah.
So I kind of want to like pull it back. Yeah.
Just
So
get back
Incredible.
into that.
And for most people, like that's not easing into it. Like you're like easing into it.
like, I
I'll
don't
just
think-
a half marathon. Like
Well,
no big deal. Like
yeah.
that's incredible.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
You are a traveler too. I know you guys like have been going on
yes.
trips, and it sounds like your parents probably took you on trips.
Because my dad worked for Northwest Airlines, which was bought out by Delta.
Yep,
So
yep.
he's worked for airlines his whole life. Yeah. So I grew up
Traveling.
traveling.
Okay.
We were not the road trip family, which is funny because my husband's family was the road trip family. So now if it's anywhere more
Do you
than
meet
3
halfway
hours,
or what?
I cannot, because we would fly for free. That's the only
That's really
reason.
perfect, yeah.
So
would you give us like 3 to 5 destinations that, like, if people are looking for advice, what would be your advice?
Oh.
That a person who has been places
well,
and could, like, what would be a good destination
Are
to
you
go?
talking
And you could
with
do
kids
kids
or with- I was
without.
like-
yeah. You could
with
do both.
kids or without kids? I would say without children, my favorite places are Vietnam, India, and like Germany, Austria.
Okay. Oh, those are very
sure.
different.
those are-
Southeast Asia. I'm like, I did not like Southeast Asia.
What?
No, I thought
gosh,
it was such complicated cultures and so
my
far
gosh.
away.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't know, snakes outside and like unpredictable things. But
Yeah.
but so different. Like if you were
That's
to
true.
learn about those countries, you
yes.
could only go. There is nothing you could read
That is true. Yeah.
because you could go like European country, you could go like to some beer fest in Chicago and you're like, okay, this is probably
Like I kind of got
like,
that. Yeah, I got the gist. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool. Okay, so Vietnam, huh? I
like that.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah, I
amazing.
loved
Okay, what
Vietnam.
about what about in the
Or
country?
like with kids.
Oh, in the country with kids. Gosh, I don't know. For some reason, we always go back to Palm Springs.
Okay,
Our
oh,
kids
fun.
love Palm Springs because you can hike.
Yeah.
And
Because Palm Springs is inland California, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I feel like we've never been.
oh, really?
Because if we go to California, we go. I love the ocean.
Oh, I know. I do miss that when we go.
And then
but
if we do desert, we do Scottsdale.
oh yeah, we
but
love Scottsdale
this,
too.
But
I know.
this is like a cool. So what's different about it? I've never been.
To Palm Springs.
Palm Springs.
Well, you can still drive to lakes, but also, it's because the airport. I love the airport. Have you been to Palm Springs Airport?
No.
It's
Wow.
so small. It's if you go to Atlanta or all those like big hubs,
massive,
it's
yes.
so tiny. You literally walk off the plane onto the grounds.
Yep.
And it's all outdoors. The airport's outdoors.
Oh,
it's amazing.
that's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
fun. Okay.
That sounds like a
Maybe
fun-
we'll do
Yeah.
it.
I'll put that on
We'll
the
do a little
kids'
trip.
little trip. Yeah,
I like that.
The kids would like that. I don't know. And we still love Chicago for a road trip. I
Yeah.
love Chicago.
Chicago's fabulous.
You know,
Yeah. I would
but
agree with that.
otherwise Palm Springs. But my parents have a place in Naples, so we always end up at Naples with the kids. Whatever is easiest with the little kids.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're like,
If
how
you
I
can
can
make
get
it.
help and hands. And that makes
yeah,
sense.
totally.
We've been asking like rapid fire questions at the end, and we ask everybody best purchase that you've made under $100, or maybe gift you've received under $100. What have you stopped apologizing for, and what's something that you wish your husband knew?
Best purchase, hands
hear
down. What is this?
No, I'm like, I want to hear it.
Gooder sunglasses.
Okay.
Have you guys ever used these?
I get ads for them.
It's what I run with, and they're $25, and I have probably like a 10 pair at this point. But they have all cute designs now, not just running. They're super
fun.
light.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I get the ads for it all the time.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Sign up.
Okay.
Okay. Then wait, what was the other one?
What's something you've stopped apologizing for?
Oh, stopped apologizing for this. Okay. This is what I'm working on. Stopping apologizing for it.
We all are. Yeah.
Because my children are always like, well, it's like mom guilt, right? And they'll be like, well, this person did this, this mom did this, or this, And so I was talking to my therapist about it. She's my saving grace. And she's just like, just say, I can't be good at everything. So now that's my line. Anytime I feel bad about not being able to do this with them or whatever, you know, I'm like, can't be good at everything. You know, or I hear
awesome.
or I hear like, oh, Mom, you can't, like, we had this amazing meal at blah, blah, blah. And I'm not a great cook. Sorry, you can't be good at everything. And then it just kind of like releases it and it just moves on.
Totally. Yeah, you still have a response, but it's not an apology, really.
Yes, there you go. It's like, so I feel like it's like
can't
makes
fight
me,
with that.
and it makes me feel better because you're like, yeah, right, okay. Yeah, so it's
so cool.
not trying to be as much mom guilt of can't be good at everything.
I love that.
Amazing. And then what's something that you wish your husband knew? Good, bad, and different.
I wish my husband knew how much I appreciate him, which I'm so bad with words. And just seeing him that one day when he operated on my son, how much he was dealing with 5 patients at a time and I was just thinking, he does this every day and then comes home and shows up as a husband and father. And I just don't tell him enough. You know, it's like Father's Day or whatever, but I wish he knew that, how much I appreciate him, because our world would not be going around without him. So
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We'll clip that and send it to him.
We'll have to cut it. Yeah. That's going to be our reel. That's going to be trending.
He is the glue for sure. So yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you guys so much.
This was such a joy.
I'm so
and
grateful that
we cried a little bit, but this was
I was
like
trying to get through it without
good for
crying.
the soul. Like,
yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Thank you for being with us. We'll see you next week.